think we have time to even let the intros. It was pretty much done, but oh, let me put up. Oh, I got you right here. Hold on, could fix this. What's up, American Outlaw? Hopefully you can hear me. If it's good, just give me like to say yes, no, or whatever. Okay, camera. Boom. I moved everything around. Thanks for tuning in, man. I just want to try to jump in here real quick and talk about what kind of went down today and what the plan is for the future. It might be too loud. Is it too loud? Let me turn it down just a little bit. Hopefully that's right. Good. I don't know. I'll watch the playback. I'll listen to playback and see how bad or how good it is. But hopefully, oh, I guess I can listen to this. Okay, it's good. All right, should be good. I have to leave my phone like a true noob for you gamer out there, American Outlaw. But I got to keep my phone on because my wife's sick, and I was trying to be quiet. I'm trying to be quiet now. I'm trying to be quiet in the garage doing some filming and some photography for the thumbnail for the upcoming video. And she's sick. I was sick, but it was actually allergies, so it's no big deal. I'm getting over that. Cool. Audio's good. All right, looks like it's almost peaking here, but or clipping or whatever, but it's actually not bad, I guess. So we'll leave it. We'll rock it out. Because I'm about to hit a 30-minute timer, you'll see. And you mentioned that too. 30 minutes, good luck with that. Yeah, always, right? So I haven't started the clock just yet. I just want to get all the housekeeping out of the way first, and then we'll dive into it. Southall has set my alarm for 5:30 in the morning on my day off to be here. Oh man, now you put the pressure on me, Southall. That's funny. And I owe you a video. I know. I actually was gonna talk about that too, but I'll talk about that right now. My dog just opened the door. Hang on. I gotta be quiet. Whole thing is me being quiet. Oh man, she opens. That dog is. She's wild. That's a tangent. I'll try to keep quiet for a second. All right. So proof I'm wearing pants too, by the way. I'm wearing jeans. Not even just like comfortable clothes here. So South Falls, I'll start with that. I owe you a video. I haven't forgot about it. It's been crazy. I'm about a week away from being done with like all the extra stuff I had to do with work. I have one more event for the media team and one more overtime shift outside of regular work and all that stuff. So I'll be good to go. But I saw that Lucky Aces Riding has a video coming out, I would imagine today, tomorrow, Sunday, sometime this weekend, about when you ask, like, you tag like 5 riders and why they ride, and not just like the generic answer, but like really like diving deep, like why you ride. So I gave a little bit of it in a comment, and I plan on making a video, and I'll tag you in on it so you'll know when it comes out. But um, my video today, or well, I could release it a couple days ago. I just didn't have a thumbnail for it. But my video, my next episode is going to be like dialing the audio, and I'll get more into that in a second. So I have the audio video coming out. Sounds weird, audio video. I have the audio episode coming out, and then I want to dial in, since I'm switching action cams from the GoPro to the DJI. I always want to make it one word, like DG, the DG, which I know South Halls, I know you're a fan of. But I want to make a video on like FOV, field of view. I think I called it field of vision in one scene here, but the field of view I want to change because my biggest thing is I don't like a warped scene. So I like having a lot of the environment and frame, and most importantly, like the handlebars and the grips on each side. Let's just hold here so you can see it. I like to have this with just a little bit. Actually, this is pretty good with a little bit of the outside at the very least. I don't want my handlebars to look like this and look like I'm 7 feet tall, because I have on the GoPro, it's always a super view. That's what they call it, the widest view. And on the action cam, they got it, DJI DG. They have it called ultra view, I think it's called, and it makes it look like everything's warped to fit in that frame, and it looks like the camera's like on top of your helmet, or that you're 7 feet tall sitting on a bike. So I like that it doesn't make the tank look smaller by changing the view and all that other stuff. So I already have, that's my next video I'm going to shoot. And then after that, I would imagine would be the one that you tagged me in. So I appreciate that. And I fully intend to get back on that as soon as I get done dialed in. I just have to dial in the audio, dial in the video, and then I'm squared away somewhat. Okay. Um, yeah, that's wild. And this is just like an impromptu. I know I gave it 30 minutes, but I didn't do like community posts. I just wanted to dive in real quick. And I may or may not, because I already looked at the pictures I took and they were bad for a reason. I'll probably show that. But yeah, that's good. Repping the cousin-in-law, his little group he's got for music. I say it's a group. It's him. He does like EDM, electronic dance music. So he's essentially does like he's his own DJ, and he rocks it. It's crazy. So it's he mashes up like 3 songs, and I don't know if anybody knows about Mixcloud, but he's on that, and he's pretty good at it. Repping the merch. But yeah, I just want to dive in here real quick. Hope everybody's having a good day. Um, South Oz, you probably have some good weather, but American Outlaw, I was joking in the comment section of your most recent video about getting second shed, which is awesome. And I saw you replied. I haven't got back to it yet, but just to have like a storage shed and like an actual like working shed, having all that workspace is gonna be really nice. And especially how you were able to get away from the law as far as building codes and all that mess. I understand that there's laws for reasons, but some of them are too much policing, too much governing. Let's see. Question. So I learned to read the questions first because one day I got to get in practice. One day I'm going to get trolled. So American Outlaw says, it's like a serious question. He says, why do motovloggers do views of themselves while riding instead of just a scenic view or road views? Serious question, actually. So I can answer it for me. For the longest time, I had just the GoPro or just the action cam on my helmet. Okay, boom, helmet. There, boom, helmet. And the reason why I never got rid of it. The reason why I changed it and added another GoPro to the handlebars or the 360, I guess at one point too, was because having, let's see, having a second camera breaks up the monotony. Because when I first did, when I first had a channel, the firefighter, right? The firefighter channel. And way back when in 2022, October 3rd, 2022, to be exact, I filmed my difference to me to be different than any other motovlogger. Um, I thought that I was gonna film my ride unedited, essentially, from point A to point B, and it was gonna be like a 15-minute trip to my destination from where I was essentially to Greenbrier. I had to go like a shopping center to grab something or whatever it was, and I filmed it uncut because there's some people that take away attention span. There's people that will have like a longer cut, I guess, in a way. So you'll film 15, 20 seconds in, and then you might mess up a word and cut it out or something. And I don't always do that, or filler words. I'm trying to get better at doing it right the first time as opposed to messing with it in post, because there's other people that don't care about that don't care about watching something that's kind of drawn out a little bit. And there's other people, obviously, and that's where we're getting attention span or just whatever, where my videos tend to be a little longer than the normal person. I guess I say normal person, but the typical motovlogger. Well, they'll cut, like if there's a space, they'll cut it out, right? Or they'll say the same thing. If I'm going to say, like my I don't know, catchphrase. I used to say it a lot, but welcome back, or I say welcome to the channel, welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Love to have you here. Love to have you back. So it's actually backwards. So instead of just saying like welcome to the channel or welcome back, love to have you here, love to have you back. I flip flop it for some reason. I was just like dyslexic, I guess, when I said it the first time. So it was welcome back to the channel. Now I can't even say it right. Welcome to the channel or welcome back. No, I said it backwards. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But that little blunder I had, a lot of times, like I would make a joke about that. But somebody will repeat the phrase. Of course, I'm put on the spot. I can't think of my own phrase that I use. But if I were to say, finally back out on 2 wheels, and just me stuttering right there, right? So they'll stop and they'll say it again. Finally back out on 2 wheels. It feels great. It's a nice sunny day. It's 70. And I'll pause and I'll be like, all right, that's not gonna work. So then they say it again a third time. So essentially it's rehearsed. And then the next line is going to be rehearsed, right? So they make these cuts. Well, I got away from doing that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just have a casual conversation. That was my goal. And in doing so, sorry, this is quite a bit, but I also wanted to have two cameras because that's what kind of broke up the monotony of just one time talking. It's also a way when you have two cameras, you can cut out if I do mess up something or if I do want to cut something out, I can actually cut to the next camera, to the next part of me talking. And even though I actually cut out 13 seconds worth or a minute and a half worth, it looks pretty seamless as long as the scene is still pretty close, still relevant. So I like having two cameras because it breaks up. It gives me more to edit, which I like I like to edit. I like to have the two cameras. Um, it's camera one will always be here, right? FOV, field of view, first person view. Camera two or three or whatever the camera number would be a secondary or a third camera where it's just if there's a minute of footage, it might be 6 seconds. So six out of every 100 seconds, it might be 10 seconds or 6 seconds or 6% of what I try to do. I don't know. That's a lot. So that's why I do it. I like to break it up a little bit, but I never want it to be the focus is never on me, my body personally. It's the ride itself. Now, when I shot the no commentary video, there's no need to have a second camera. I took the camera off and I took the actual like mount off the handlebars because I wanted it to be like just about the ride. Had nothing to be about the rider. So hopefully that answers the question, at least to me. South Oz can probably chime in on there too. Yeah, he's got something here. So South Oz mentions, see, I can't read the whole thing. I'm reading half the comment and I'm already talking about it. But really dislikes the FOV distortion on videos. Yeah, just does not look realistic. And take your time with your video. Good things take time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I don't, and that's the best part about not having a schedule here. And I said a little bit ago that I ditched the schedule. It put an unnecessary stress by having like a video like every Thursday or Sunday or whatever, and it makes it a lot easier to um, live life first and YouTube second. I'm sure that makes. I was gonna say if that makes sense, but of course it makes sense. It should make sense. And then let's see, South Osmodo. I personally video myself if I want to make it a point or have something important to say. I even try not to have the sunglasses or tinted visor down when I film that way. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I got you. Yeah. Okay. That was very long winded, but that was my 2 cents or 4 cents, 6 cents, probably 6 cents, even though that means something different. Okay. See, just gotta shut it off. 2 cents, 4 cents. I'd be good. Then I said 6 cents. Now I'm thinking about 6 cents, having a 6 cents about something. Yeah. All right. Let me just start the timer. We'll do that. I'll start the timer. So we'll do this. We'll do this. Got that. Boom. 30 minutes. How you like that? Okay. I want to cut that off. American Outlaw. I want to put one on my helmet when I get one facing back and one on the front caliper forward. Cool views. Yeah. So Motovon Virginia, he's got something. His is probably, I imagine, attached to either the foot peg or mounted somewhere in the back. A saddle. I don't know if he has saddlebags, but I looked at that at one point and never put it on there. But he's got one. He's got a good view of the back, the rear, and it's low to the ground too. So it's like, shoot, it looks like hanging just a few, several inches or whatever above the ground. But it looks cool. But yeah, I always thought like a third camera. And going back to the 360. So going back to your question. So having one camera forward, one camera towards me from the handlebars, so you see the person that's riding, and then and I talk with my hands a lot or whatever, whether I should or should. I don't know. I'm just gonna do it. It is what it is because I'm doing it right now. But the 360 got to the point where you never miss a shot. and that was one of the benefits. The biggest benefits of the 360 is I had a forward view if I wanted, a little lower if I wanted to. Um, it wasn't straight just from the camera. You could see like the headlight, the cowl of the headlight. I could zoom out a little bit, get the handlebars if I wanted to. I could do the left, right, up, down, whatever view I wanted. I would never miss something. I could do keyframes so I could actually follow an object if I wanted to. So it's a great camera for that intent and that for those intended purposes or purpose. All right, so today I can show you a little bit. I didn't really have time. I don't know if I mentioned it, but my wife, I think I did. I was talking about my wife being sick. So I've got my phone on. I think I did talk about that. Phone's on a little bit, and do this. Should say the volume's on my phone, so I can if she needs anything. All right, so this is what I did. I was trying to be quiet in the garage, but let me not mess this up. Thought I froze for a second. I'm not. So if I go to this, to keep my timer, it worked. Okay, cool. So what I did in the garage was for the upcoming video, I filmed. This is not the garage, but I can talk about it a little bit. The upcoming video is me working with the GoPro. Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. It's just a cold. Yeah, she'll be good. But when she gets sick, dude, she gets sick for like 2 weeks. And I was, before we met, I'd be sick for like 3 days. And now I'm sick for like 10 days to 2 weeks, just like her. She wore my immune system down. So no, she's tough. She's much tougher than I am. I wouldn't be streaming if I was feeling even half of what she was feeling. But what I was doing was I filmed a ride, and I had a couple issues, more so than normal, where I said, can I bounce back? Didn't lose it. Okay. So I had a couple issues where um Motorbomb Virginia was going through the same thing where you had the GoPro. Had all of them right here. Oh, here's one. Boom. Oop, dropped it. That's fine. So I had the GoPro and I was filming. The 10 Old Faithful was working really well. I have the 13 as well. And the video kept, it was saying that the SD card was not like fast enough or whatever. It was something was like an issue, and it would like drop the ability to write, the read write speed, okay? Essentially is the write speed is it when you're recording, how fast, especially 4K 60 frames, you need a good SD card, mini SD card, right? SD card mini to be able to capture what's recorded, especially think about this, it's 4K, that's one thing, right? 60 frames, that's another thing, a second, and then on top of that, you're riding, 50, 60 miles an hour while all the images are coming through. So it's quite a bit. You're asking for quite a bit for the SD card, the action cam, all that good stuff, right? But doing my research, I made sure I got the right SD card. I only use it for this GoPro itself. I don't switch between the GoPro, the 360, the other GoPro. They only know this SD card only knows this. Same thing as the action cam, Action 6 DJI, DG. I'm gonna call it DG for now on. The DG, and then the Hero 13. They only know that actual camera body, right? Well, I kept having issues where it was cutting off in the middle of recording. I just took off the beeps, the sounds of the beeps. So while I was talking 12 minutes into it, it only recorded like 6 minutes. So I didn't know that wasn't recording, and I was going over this whole audio setup. If I go back to this, so this whole thing was it was the video itself was ruined. The video before that was ruined by audio and some other stuff. So what I did was to capture what I needed. I actually like took pieces of each video and made this video coming up. So it wasn't worthless because I needed the GoPro video. I needed that audio. I show you how I come up with, or how I've come up with as perfect audio as I can possibly get. So for 3.5 years, I used the GoPro. I used a wired setup. I can All right, so once again, I got to zoom out. I got to find. I got so many spots to look at. All right, look here. I need this button. Okay. So the GoPro, where's there? The GoPro would sit here, right? Different mount, but the GoPro would sit here. It would be screwed in here. This is the housing for the media adapter, the GoPro media adapter, because this plugs into the GoPro to power the media adapter, right? Or audio adapter. And then my wired lav mic that I've used for 3.5 years plugs into the GoPro audio adapter, which is right there. It's already plugged in right there. And I wanted to get to a wireless setup because of the rain. I talked about this, the rain, the mist. If I travel, I don't want to have to worry about pulling over. So I wanted to go wireless since getting the DG camera. And I was able to show the old setup. And even though that video failed halfway through, I've got a talking head, or not talking head. I've got I do have talking head in the video, so it's me, and then it's the ride out, and I show how in post I actually clean up my audio, my vocals a little bit more, and I have like literature on the bottom of the screen, ones with just GoPro, and on the right it shows the audio changes as my vocals get a little more clear in post, and I talk about how I do that, the vocal presence. So I do that. I do the mic threes, which are right here, right there. I talk about how and I show how these don't work for me inside a helmet when the visor's down. And honestly, they were too close anyway, so they were very muffled. And I had to lower. So a little thing about audio is nerd talk. I go and show. Okay, it should be mute. It'll be muted, but you'll be able to see on the screen. So let me go over here. I almost hit stop streaming. Okay. So if you follow my cursor and you look over here, okay, I'll even make it a little bit wider. All right, this is your audio level, okay? So if I hit play, and it should be muted. Yeah. You might be able to hear it through my mic, but that's it. But I try to make sure it doesn't go above -4 dB, -4 decibels. Okay, that'd be clipping or peaking or whatever. It'd be in the red. But what happens is that's peaking. If you're looking at loudness of an actual, uh, the loudness of audio, even though it doesn't go above -4, because everything's at -4 for the whole time, it doesn't go from like you look at these sound files, or audio file or levels, see how they go from like -30 all the way up to -12 and all that stuff? If they stay at -4 the whole time, it's perceived louder than every other audio throughout, because it doesn't just go -4 dB and then drop back down to like -8, -9 and fluctuate throughout. So I actually had to drop from the mic threes. I had to make them instead of -4 to like that's the cutoff, that's the max. I had to drop them all the way down to like -15, and they still sound kind of loud when I watch the video or listen to video, but not loud enough that it hurts your ears or anything. But it was very noticeable, and that was all about placement in the helmet with the visor down. Especially, it gets real muffled. Sounds like you're underwater or something like that. So I eventually settled to the DJI, the Mic 2s, which I have one, and you'll see it in the video if you watch it and all that stuff. But basically, my shoot today and kind of what I was going to talk about. Let me jump back to the chat. Don't get too far ahead. Yeah, so American Outlaw, I was talking about that, and Motobomb Virginia's here. Awesome. So I was just talking about you, Motobomb, because American Outlaw mentions about having, his goals about having camera forward, and then and then get another one facing back at him and one on the front caliper. And I mentioned that you have one facing rear, lower, and you can say what you mount it to. I said it was either a peg, passenger peg, or the if it's not the frame of the bike, it's saddlebags. I don't know if you have saddlebags. Can't remember. Can't chat. Oh, sorry, I should have read that too. Yeah, he's at work, can't chat, but listening. Okay, yeah. Do your thing, man. But no, thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Yeah, him and I had some crazy weather. That's what I was talking about earlier. It was like 75 with thunderstorms, and then yesterday, and then they were calling for snow flurries by the evening time. It was wild. South Oz. He says, I did a race day at the track last week on my 1600 Triumph with a camera attached to the crash bar. Okay, crash bar facing forward, capturing the forks working. Nice. That's pretty cool. Yeah, to see them bouncing like that, that'd be awesome. Look forward to seeing that video. This is going over. Yeah, no. So, all right, Outlaw. The 30-minute timer doesn't start until the timer starts, and then I exceed that anyway. Yeah. So by the time I hit like stop streaming, it'll say like 45 minutes. I mean, I gotta do the housekeeping first, right? All right, this is a good break. So I went to the garage, and I might have to redo it, but for the other channel, like where I talk about photography and some videography, I'm able to kind of use some of what I'm doing here. I'm able to like film like the behind the scenes stuff. I did that one time here, and I've done a couple in the past, different dimension, the firefighter channel. I did a few like behind the scenes of a thumbnail, like recording the thumbnail and how I did it, some photography, some drone shots that were not of the bike. They were just in general. And it's just, to me, it's two different. It's TOO, two different, and TWO, English, two different audiences. So I made another channel for that, and that fills my cup that way. So in doing so, I'm looking at the footage here. The footage for this shows you. Am I on? Okay, I'm on the right one. It shows you what I was looking at, like how I do. I've got the. I can even zoom in a little bit here. So clearly, I have both the mics, the two and the three. The two's on the left, it's bigger, and then the action cam as well. And the mics work on the tank. The camera, I thought it only has one place that the magnets work on the tank. And then I have one over here holding the camera up because there's only one magnetic part for that camera, the housing that I got. But basically, I goofed up because if I go to Lightroom, yeah, so this is what I'm going to end up working on today. Because I had to change the shutter speed, I didn't hold the camera as tight as I should. I think I was end up moving it before the shutter was closed. So a couple of these are out of focus. So like that. I don't know if you can tell. That's a little blurry. Very blurry. Yeah, I goofed up big time on this. Good learning experience. I think there's one that's usable. And that's zoomed in quite a bit. So I'm not delivering these to anybody. I think that's passable. But another thing I figured out, and it's kind of nerd talk, that when doing the photography, I goofed up last time because when you make a thumbnail, I kept taking screenshots, right? Screen grabs of my videos, and that's a 16:9 ratio, which is what the thumbnail is. When you take a picture with the camera, it's a 3:2 ratio. So I goofed up because I took, like, if let's say I wanted this exact image, by the time I put this in a 16:9 ratio, if you see my cursor on the right over here, pretty much where these columns are over here was black. I couldn't fix it. So I had to take a picture further away so that when I zoom in, essentially, oh, I'm changing. Sorry. when I zoom in, it will actually fill the screen, the 16:9. So that's nerd talk. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. South Oz says, Roberto, do you think you will be able to join Lucky on his subscriber ride coming up? I have an idea. Yes. So he's looking. He'll be able to tell you. Well, I don't think he has a date yet. That'd be cool. Oz. Yeah. So I want to hear your idea. Absolutely, because he said sometime in May, closer to the end of May. I think he's hovering around like the 20 something that weekend, which is May 20, 23rd. So 22nd, 23rd. I work the 23rd, but I might be able to get off that day, which I need to. I need to be off because it's a 3.5 hour trip, which it puts me, I think, somewhere close to 500 miles because it's like two something there, 200 there. If he doesn't Raleigh, 3.5 hours. So 200 there, 200 back, 400 plus a ride. I don't know if it's exactly 200, somewhere around there. 190, I think it was. Either way, it's about 200 there, 200 back, plus a riding around whatever we plan on doing. And if that puts me like 50 miles short or shy of 500, I'm probably going to ride around a little extra just to hit 500 miles in one day. Just because, not that that's a lot to a lot of people, maybe it'd be a lot to me for sure. And my longest trip, or my most miles put in one day, and it's an all day event. But the saddle sore or the iron butt challenge, whatever you call it, the iron butt challenge is 1,000 miles in 24 hours. So I'll have a half a cheek worth of that at 500 miles. So I thought it'd be pretty funny. But if you want to explain South Oz, go ahead. What your idea is here. But my goal is absolutely, because he had 2 other meetings prior to our meetups. He had one that he did, and I was working that day, and one I was coming off work, and I didn't know him well enough to talk to him about it, nor would I, because I didn't want him to change. I told him this already. I wouldn't want him to like change his time based on just me. No, I would never ask him to do that. So the fact that it takes 3.5 hours, I get off at 7 a.m. and I think his meetup was like 10 a.m. or something. So I wouldn't get there at the bare minimum. I wouldn't get there until like 10:30, and that's if I left at 7. We didn't have a late call, one of those deals. So, but yeah, that's 100% my goal. And another thing I was going to finish up and talk about on the live stream, which I didn't do. I was saying like there's some a lot of news going on, but my wife is switching from night shift to day shift. So instead of her going to work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and sleeping during the day, which is why I have to be quiet typically, can't go out because the dog will bark, or, I got to make sure she's good. Now my wife is going to day shift, so she'll leave at 7 a.m., come back at 7 p.m. No, sorry. Yes, that's correct. Where she'll be on a day shift schedule where she'll be up during the day, which bodes well for her. Obviously, first and foremost, I want her to be good. So like I'll support anything she does, like as far as if it helps her out, for sure. And then in a distant second, it helps me out because now I can go ride without having to worry about, or go out, whatever, and do photography. And my goal is to take the dog, but if I don't take the dog, like for example, riding, she's taken care of because we don't leave the dog alone by herself long, and especially if she's sleeping, trying to catch up on her sleep. But anyway, if I sound weird, like I said, I'm getting over whatever I had. Yeah, what do we got? 9:38, 38, perfect timing. But yeah, Oz, if you want to throw it in here or tell him, that's fine too. Either way, it doesn't. I'm good with whatever. So, all right, I'm on that. But yeah, so going to this, I want to figure out. I think what I'll do is I'll find my safe margins for this. So I'll export this exact picture. If this is what I do, I may go back real quick and shoot it again, and make sure everything's in focus. I'll test one of these out, learning experience. I think because my shutter speed was a lot slower, that when I clicked it, I ended up moving the camera a little bit before the shutter as it opened and it closed. I think I moved it a little bit before. So anyway, tripod was the best. All right. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that. So South Osmodo. I know. Well, what's bad is I've shared it before. I'll share it again. Where am I at? And this is nothing. I usually have 4 screens up here. So not to lose the time, so let's go here. Add the 30-minute timer. So this is what I'm looking at. And usually I have 2 more. I use the cursor. I usually have 2 more things over here. But I have the chat at the bottom here, right? I have OBS here, which I switch between scenes. I have obviously what you saw on the laptop screen here. And then I have the camera here. Sometimes I might have something on this screen. Because the camera is behind teleprompter, but the teleprompter I just use as a technically a third screen. But yeah, there's a lot. And I got my phone here. Trying to keep track of everything. That's used to make sure the audio is good. Okay. So South Oz, I'm not going to read your comment out loud. Keep it a secret. Not that anybody would. Oh, Moto Alley. He'll watch. That's a Playback King. He'll probably watch this. But yes, that's interesting. So definitely link up with him. Link up with Lucky and talk to him about the ride, because that would be pretty awesome. Yeah, I've not. Yeah, he said that would be YouTube first. Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it out loud. I mean, it's in the chat, obviously, but I'll keep that. Maybe little hints, but not like exactly what it is. But that's awesome. Yeah. And regardless of me being there, because my goal is I'm gonna be there. I just don't know what date he has. And the other thing is, well, I'll figure it out. I think I can get that day off too. I have to see. We can only can't have more than 5 people off in each battalion. There's 3 battalions. There's 15 stations. So there was 4 people. I'm pretty sure there was 4 people off. But there's 2 places you got to check to make sure that they've put in their leave right. So I need to make sure I look at that when I go back to work. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And I also need to know what date he has too. I think he said he's going to do 2 days. So that's the benefit. The only way I couldn't do it is if those 2 days happen to be the 2 days that my wife was working. Yeah, South Oz, if you want to delete the comment, if you want it to be super secret. But I mean, I'm still technically a new channel. And we got 2 months. If you want to delete that, that's perfectly fine. It's up to you. Oh. Interesting. So we go from USA, right? Virginia / North Carolina to Canada to Australia. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. So you can delete that comment too. Dang. I just spilled Monster on myself. That's 10 cents. 10 cents worth. I like that. I like that idea a lot. Yeah, we have to figure that out. And worst case, if I couldn't attend, I would be on the live stream. I said too much. Moving on. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, I like that. Hey, 4 minutes. I'm off in 4 minutes. You'll see. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. All right. Enough about that. So, yeah, I'm gonna do this all off screen or whatever. We'll go back. Yeah, cool. Spill the rest of the monster down the sink. Yeah, not happening. All right, let's go back to this and we'll finish out the last 3 minutes. Boom. Did it. See? 338. 38. My number. Boom. I've looked at the number the last 2 times. It's been 38. Let's go. Anyway, moving on. OCD, right? So I'm going to go and I'm going to finish this thumbnail and then the video is done. And I'll probably release it either tonight or tomorrow. I'm off both days. So I like to be, it's fun when I get to be off because then I get to actually like reply to the comments pretty quick. But I might release it tonight just because I don't want to wait. I've already sat on the video for like 2 or 3 days. Like I said, I just had to come up description, title, and then make sure the thumbnail's good. And if I have to redo the, I like the redacted messages. This is like the, I can't say the first name or last name, I guess, but the files that are being released, but they're redacted. Yeah, you got nothing to hide, but you redact half the documents. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, this is looking like, I love a good conspiracy theory. I used to be really big into them. But then they all became true, and they're not so much fun anymore. But this is looking juicy. Okay, cool. Hey, I hope everybody's having a great day. I know the weather is kind of flip-flopping and all that stuff, but with Moto Alley, I know he was saying, I think he said he had something was budding finally, showing signs of life in the spring and all that stuff, but we're getting there. We're getting there. South Oz, you kept us afloat with those warm, hot days, not even warm, hot days. Ben as well, Indian Crusader, yeah, Australian friends, TC as well, kicking it with the Harley. So we all appreciate that, and I guess it's our turn to show some of that spring since we've been stuck in the snow and the frigid temperatures. Make it sound way worse. It wasn't that bad for us here in Virginia. But yeah, I'll release that video. I look forward to what else y'all got, and y'all pop in live. Hopefully I'm able to make it. I like the 30-minute heads up because I hate when I see that there's a live and I click it and it's like gone. It's like it's over. It says like replay like hour or something. So 8 minute 30. I think I did it. I think I did it. On paper, I did it, even though this would be a 45-minute video. So we'll leave it there. I'll even leave a little early. So appreciate y'all showing up. I know it's like midday and all that stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I like doing this stuff. I like it a lot. So until the next time, y'all take care and hashtag enjoy the ride.